attracts me to these cars and the projects is discovering them most of the time by VIN number out there in the world, right? So you find a car for sale, it's all white, or the guy painted it, you know, some other color, right? And you're like, that's not really how it would have looked in the pro racing days. So let's get the VIN number, take a look and see, you know, what the story behind the car is. We're here with the 66 car. This is the TRG entry in 2012. This thing went to Daytona 2 times. 2-time Daytona entry, used very sparingly. It did Daytona, it did the 6 hours of the Glen in 2012, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it did Lime Rock, and then it went back to Daytona. So in this particular case on the Cosmic car, it was owned by a good friend of mine who actually purchased our Green Machine DreamWorks car earlier this year. And I came across the car in his collection and was like, wow, you know, if you're ever thinking about selling that car, I'd really like to bring it back to its full glory and reintroduce it at a future historic event. Whether that would be the Rolex out in Laguna Seca, fantastic event in August at Monterey, or the new IMSA Classic that runs with the 24-hour race coming up this January. So we basically made a deal. We get the car. It was in pretty poor condition. It needed a lot of sorting out. Spent the last 2 months sorting the car out, and this is the end result. We did a test with it yesterday. Fantastic. We had I believe we did like a 213 with it or something for a 997. That Sebring, that's pretty good. It's not like an aero car like one of these GT3Rs you might see in our paddock, like this black one right here. This is basically old school. Just a really cool car. Outstanding livery, and the Cosmic livery Ben Keating had come up with. Wanted something different. Had the TRG infamous 66 car number on it. Kevin Buckler was crew chief, wasn't a driver on this car. We basically had, at the first Daytona in 2012, we had Dominik Farnbacher, we had Ben Keating, we had Mario Farnbacher, Patrick Pilet, and then the late Allan Simonsen. The livery really makes it. I mean, to see that car in the sunlight, was locked in the shop for so long. We were getting it right, making it all right. Put it out in the sun for the first time, it just really came to life. It almost like it got like a burst of energy from the sun, from the cosmos. So the state of the livery when we got it was just amazing. We ended up, we found Thomas Snyder. He's the guy that originally did the livery way back. He had the files for the car. And Thomas had redone the livery for the person that I bought it from. So they had all the digital files. Ben Keating had given this to this fellow about 7 or 8 years ago. So hopefully they're still on a hard drive somewhere. But basically we were able to replace the right door, even with this complicated design. We redid the right door, we did the front and rear bumper covers, and just blended them back into the original livery of the car. It was, I guess, mad science in the design world. I don't quite get that. But in the artsy-fartsy world, they really made it happen, and they made it bang out, you know, just an amazing recreation of what was originally there without having to really disturb a lot of the other decals and stickers. To jump in and hear that, just that growl from these Grand Am spec cars, they're just fantastic. They make a different sound. They're just, I think Porsche was getting a little beat up back then in 2012. They were tired of getting beaten by Corvettes and BMWs and other sort of things. So they just leaned on these just a little bit more, and they're really special cars. So between testing sessions and races, it only went out 9 times in its brief Grand Am history. The second time it went to Daytona, it did a blisteringly fast 148 lap time at the hands of Dominik Farnbacher and Jörg Bergmeister. I mean, 148 in a 997.2, pretty incredible. This thing is just spectacular. Hello, right? Look how clean this is. It's got the brake reservoirs up here at where the battery usually goes. The battery's been relocated inside the car. brake master cylinders have the reinforcement plate. This was a Gary Beale type of thing. Capital City Motorsports down in Texas. This car's equipped with Bosch ABS. It has TracTive suspension and just absolutely perfect frame rails and just beautiful trunk floor. I love this here, you know, with just the witness marks and no repair, you know, and all the part number stickers there, or not stickers, but the stampings and such in them. Just perfect. Fuel cell, quick fill. Let's take a look inside. What do we got here? Carbon doors, of course, all the usual stuff. This is a Grand Am edition special build, which has the Grand Am bar, the high output 3.8 engine. This car is equipped with the Ricardo gearbox, the RSR. So the Ricardo gearbox is what they used in the later RSR cars in the 997. And it has the actual flanges are actually raised up on the case. So it's quite a different design. It allows the car to be made so much lower. As a result, the rear fender wells, the inner liners are what we call tubbed to fit the 3171 18 Michelins on the back. That was the improvement that they made late in the Grand Am history here with the 997s. And pretty cool. Let's take a look in the back. Over here, this car has up-to-date fire bottle, all the safety kit is up-to-date, belts. It's got a V-Box, race logic system, a radio, voila. All right, motor, just 2 hours on the motor after a fresh rebuild. Same with the Ricardo gearbox in the car. This thing is turnkey and ready to go and ready to have some fun. Lots of great, you know, new fittings and shiny bits and pieces, and really done to a level that is second to none. What I hope to see is this 997 GT3 Cup finding a good home, hopefully with a driver under the DAS Sport tent here. They do a fantastic drive of getting these cars out to the track, prepped well, and just, you know, in top order to do your best competing. So I think the best place for this car is really going to be HSR. I'm a huge fan of HSR, if you know. I love IMSA. I love the ownership relationship of IMSA with HSR and all the money that they put in to make this a fantastic weekend for us all. So, you know, there's other places to run. There's Porsche Club Racing. There's IGT. There's lots of other things to do in the world. Globally, you could do the German stuff and do some of the historics over in Europe. I think this is best suited for HSR. So I hope to see it here under the DAS Sport banner in 2026. Coming up soon.